Homeless in America. This is Real Homeless Story, where we uncover the truth most never see. Los Angeles, California's crown jewel, a city draped in glitz and glamour, where dreams take flight and stars are born. Known worldwide as the Mecca of movies, red carpets, and luxury, it's the epicenter of fame and fortune. But beneath the dazzle of Hollywood lights, another reality plays out. Just streets away from iconic landmarks and million-dollar homes, thousands sleep beneath plastic tarps and worn-out blankets. In a city built on dreams, countless people are trapped in a waking nightmare, invisible to many, forgotten by most. In this journey, we step beyond the velvet ropes to confront what lies hidden behind Los Angeles' facade. We'll investigate the forces behind the city's growing homeless crisis, listen to the voices behind the statistics, and examine the efforts, some promising, some flawed, aimed at turning the tide. If you're curious about homelessness in another part of the country, drop it in the comments. We just might explore it next. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to help shine a light on the shadows many pretend not to see. 2024, a breaking point. In just 1 year, Los Angeles experienced a staggering 28% increase in its homeless population, pushing the number to an all-time high of 11,141 people without shelter. Since 2013, homelessness in the city has surged by 55%. In the last 4 years alone, it's risen by 41%. These aren't just numbers. They reflect a crisis that's no longer confined to alleyways and underpasses. It's now visible everywhere, reshaping the city and the lives within it. So, let's take a hard look at what they never show you on glossy postcards. Let's walk through the places most Angelinos try to avoid. Skid Row, the epicenter. Skid Row is ground zero for LA's homeless crisis. It's more than a collection of tents. It's a grim portrait of suffering. Here, hundreds crowd together in makeshift camps, living without access to showers, medical care, or even a safe place to cook. The smell of waste, the sound of pain, and the constant sense of danger make daily survival a battle. And Skid Row is just the beginning. Venice Beach, Hollywood Boulevard, downtown LA, even quiet residential streets now line up with tents and sleeping bags where entire families huddle together just to make it through the night. Why has homelessness exploded? What's driving this explosion? Why are tens of thousands sleeping on the sidewalks of one of the wealthiest cities in the world? It begins with economic disparity. Los Angeles has one of the widest wealth gaps in America. As the rich get richer, wages for average workers have stagnated. Add soaring living expenses, and the equation leads to collapse. Poverty in Los Angeles doesn't just mean empty wallets. It's linked to health decline, food insecurity, and unstable housing. Many are one paycheck or one medical emergency away from sleeping on the street. The housing squeeze. Skyrocketing real estate prices have turned owning a home into a pipe dream. In LA, the median price for a home is $912,500, more than double the national average. Even renting a modest two-bedroom apartment costs nearly $2,600 a month. When families are forced to choose between rent and groceries, or insulin and heating, many fall through the cracks. And once they do, it's brutally hard to climb back out. The immigration factor. Complicating matters further is LA's large refugee and undocumented immigrant population. By 2023, over 8,000 undocumented individuals were resettled in LA County, up dramatically from just 16,000 in 1990. With limited legal protections, job opportunities, or government aid, many fall into homelessness almost immediately after arriving. Solving this requires more than just shelter. It calls for legal aid, job programs, and long-term housing strategies that restore dignity and security. Frank's story. To understand the crisis, we turn to Frank, a 69-year-old Vietnam veteran who spent the last decade living on the streets of Venice. He came to California for medical marijuana to ease chronic pain. He gets disability and a small veteran's pension, yet he still can't afford housing. Frank believes that real solutions start with work opportunities and a society that sees the homeless not as a problem, but as people. Wider impact on the city. Homelessness isn't just a personal tragedy, it's a city-wide emergency. Hospitals are overwhelmed as the homeless often turn to ERs for basic care. Sanitation services are stretched thin. Firefighters, social workers, and police are called constantly to assist in ways that go far beyond their mandates. High-density homeless camps can attract petty crime, not because the homeless are inherently criminal, but because poverty breeds desperation, and lack of oversight breeds danger. And with fear growing, the divide between residents and the unhoused widens every year. In 2023, crime in LA jumped 10%, with over 92,000 reported incidents. Neighborhood Scout ranks Los Angeles among the most dangerous cities in the U.S. Environmental toll tent cities come with an environmental cost. Trash piles up, sidewalks crack, parks become unwalkable. This not only threatens public health, it harms tourism, strains city budgets, and creates a cycle of neglect that's hard to break. A city of contrasts. Where else but LA can a luxury penthouse stand a block away from a row of tents? The contrast is hard to miss and harder to stomach. As debates over housing, zoning, and aid grow more political, the city finds itself paralyzed by division rather than united by solutions. A voice from Skid Row. A woman who has lived in Skid Row for 11 years shared her story. I hear gunshots, I see fights, I've been robbed, I panhandle, I recycle, I sell what I can just to eat. And yeah, I use. It helps me forget for a while. I know it's bad, but when you're always scared, always hungry, it numbs the stress. Her words paint a raw picture, one rarely heard but deeply human. Community in chaos. Yet in the middle of all this, Skid Row is also a place of resilience. People look out for each other, they share food, they warn each other of danger. But they also face addiction, untreated mental illness, and a system that seems designed to keep them trapped. City policies have concentrated the homeless in places like Skid Row, creating what some call an open-air prison. Floodlights are used at night, not for safety, but control. And for many, escape feels impossible. Government response. In response, the city launched the Inside Safe initiative, moving thousands into hotels and temporary shelters with wraparound services. In 2024 alone, 23,000 individuals found some form of shelter. California Governor Gavin Newsom pledged $12 billion to address homelessness, including billions for temporary and affordable housing construction. LA County's Housing for Health initiative moved hundreds into permanent housing in the Skid Row area. These efforts show promise, but they're not enough. Sweeps without solutions. Many times, homeless encampments are cleared with little warning. Officials cite sanitation or public safety, but offer no long-term support. People scatter. Camps reappear. The trauma deepens. This revolving door approach wastes millions while solving nothing. Experts argue it's time for a housing-first model, providing shelter before expecting sobriety, employment, or treatment. Only then can real progress begin. Conclusion: a crossroads. Los Angeles stands at a crossroads. Will it continue patching the surface while the roots rot deeper? Or will it lead with courage, vision, and compassion? The challenge is enormous, but so is the potential. With sustained effort, smart policy, and genuine empathy, LA can transform from a city of broken promises into a beacon of hope. If this journey gave you new perspective, hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe to Real Homeless Story. We'll keep telling the stories that need to be told until the world listens.